Hello chipsters, it's Gav. Yes, we're back with another video. When are we not? Today we're looking at some Saxon's 18mm ABs, AB Napoleonic Saxons. I'm not changing all that again. And they are leftovers from a commission I did a couple of years ago. And the client said, hold on to them, and if you ever want to make up some spare batteries for me, do it. 2 years later. Not as if I was overly pressed with work, but we finally got there. So there's 3 scratch batteries being made up. That some of the little fellas are not in the same poses per. They come in, if you don't know, they come in bags, obviously with handling, running up guns, all that type of stuff, and you usually get certain types of poses in each bag. Really, these are just some ad hoc units that have been pushed together, as in what I had spare at the time, left over from the commission. They're also done with a static grass. I tend to put tufts over everything now, rather than static grass with a few tufts in amongst them. But the client, I did ask the client, did he want to go to the new version? He said no. Obviously, he wanted them timing with his existing collection. So it's very rare that I do 18mm ABs that are based. Yes, I know I did Highlanders a while ago that were, but it is rare that I do that. My main client for ABs, he likes to base them himself, so which I'm going to show you in another video in a minute. So yeah, let's go down to the bench, look at these Saxons. Right guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. I'm hoping you're getting a good view of all that with all the lights I've got on. Yes, the fertiliser's been out good and proper on these. They are nice and green. As I say, these guys are 18mm. These ones are horse artillery. I've just done a couple of Chateau colours again. Saxons, I believe, you can get away with, like the off-white tan oil cut, because these will tend to be oil skin covers. You can get, so it's like an off-white tan buff colour, anything in that range, like a bluey grey one, and the standard black, which tended to be the majority. That's a howitzer. If you don't know, these little stubby ones are howitzers, and they can obviously fire in a upward and over trajectory, whereas this 12-pounder, say, fires in a straight line, more or less. They could obviously, these were, you know, if you survived long enough, you became very skilled at this type of stuff, and they could thump them into the ground, get them to bounce into oncoming troops, get more bowled over for your buck, or pound, or franc, or mark. I don't think the euro was around then, so we'll stick with that. But yeah, they've got these like, I don't know what's got in the other countries, but we used to have a creosote over here for doing fences and sheds and stuff. And it's, if you remember that, guys, it's an old creosote type of colour, like a blacky brown, bit of grey in it, and then yellow. All the metal bits are painted in a yellow colour. Quite an attractive gun as guns go. So a few homemade tufts put in there. I always put my bases on. I just put white silver sand. So the stuff you get in kids' play pits, you can get them in lots of like children's supplies type of places, you know, or do-it-yourself things. If you know, for making play pits, the sand is a lot cleaner. You know, obviously you don't want to be using some orangey coloured builder's sand. It'll get everywhere, the colour and everything. So use that silver sand. You can put a bit of extra, you know, put some railway ballast in it, or I use, you can get, it's like coverings for parrots' cages and budgies' cages and aviaries and stuff. And I use that, although I tend to use that more on the 28s and the 1 in 35 scale figures. I tend to stick with silver sand on these. Again, we've got, I can use tell the horse artillery as well with their swords. So I won't bother showing you the rest of them. You know, it is what it is. They're all the same uniform, roughly. I've given some the white trousers just for a change. Again, it just makes everything looks. You know, you throw a few shako covers in there, throw a few different trousers. You know, it just makes a unit look a bit more different. You know, and as I say, the little fellas themselves, they were literally what we had in bags. Spare, so they don't necessarily correspond that you'd get out of a normal bag. So they've been. I use almost gone actually. This one. I use this stuff to varnish. It does go. I put it through an airbrush. I tend to find that works well for me. I'm vigorously touching wood here. We don't want the dreaded frosting over it. But yeah, I'll blow them all over with the varnish when they're still on the bottle tops, and then I don't over wet them. A lot of the times your frosting that you get on figures will come from if you're putting it on with a brush, you've either over wetted it, over coated it too much, or as we all know, humidity can play a part as well. Touching wood so fast, when I've been using that airbrush, and I've been doing this now since I've been getting into my models, I put it through that, and I've not had a problem with anything going wrong. But we're touching wood here, and then when they're all varnished and obviously all stuck down, once this is all done, in the old days I'd just paint the edges. I always paint the edges black. I think I like the picture frame effect, and I put obviously a brush round with some varnish on. But now I spray it, and it also has the benefit of giving the figures one more coat. Because I always give them 2 coats, so I spare the second coat until I've actually got them on the bases, and it also helps keep the static grass in, or the tufts of whatever you put down. So guys, that is my. These are the old AB brand now, or for a long time, being made by Eureka Miniatures. It's a Australian company, but they obviously cast them over here in the UK as well, and I believe in the States, or at least they're sold through the States anyway. So yeah, 18mm. Sorry, my head's all over the shop as usual. So they're 18mm. They're Eureka figures. But all of us that know them call them AB because it was the name of the old brand and the initials of the sculptor. And that's it really. Yeah, they've been painted for a commission. Should you want a commission, hit me up anytime. Next video up in this little conveyor belt, there's actually 3 videos probably going up today. The next one, they're not based because it's for my main AB client, and he doesn't say he likes to do them himself, but we're going to be looking at some Austrian AB 18mm. So thanks for stopping by and taking a look. We'll catch each other very soon on the next one.